In 1944, the year I was born, President Roosevelt authorized the building of 40,000 miles of highway system in the United States. And so who was the benefactor of that? Well, it was the concrete companies. It was the construction companies. It was the big machine companies. They all made money off of that. That's exactly where we are today with artificial intelligence. The people making the money are the people who are building the data centers and then putting the GPUs and CPUs in the data centers. But when it's all over, when it's all built out and ready to be used, when the blockades are taken down, who's going to make the money? Well, who made the money off the 40,000 miles of highway? Well, it became the largest companies in the world at that time. It was Ford, it was General Motors, and it was Chrysler. Well, who else? Well, what about a company by the name of Exxon or Chevron or Standard Oil? Those are the companies who made the money off of the 40,000 miles of highway. So who ultimately is going to be the benefactor of artificial intelligence, which is creating the demand today for NVIDIA's GPU chips and CPUs and Micron's memory chips and data centers and air conditioning? Who's ultimately going to benefit from that? Well, what is this highway of artificial intelligence going to create? It's going to create conversational marketing. That's right, conversational marketing. We are going to make a transition from being bombarded with TV commercials to sell us products to where we will go to websites and we will converse with a bot who is knowledgeable and will help us make a good decision. Let me share with you an experience I had this last week. I needed one of those plugs, you go in the wall that I could plug my phone charger cable into. I left it at a hotel I was at, and so I went to Walmart. I went into Walmart, and I walked all the way to the back of the store, and I said to a clerk, I need one of those things, you plug your phone cable into, and you plug it in the wall so that I can charge my phone. He says, that's over on aisle 5 on the left-hand side. So I walked down about 7 aisles, and I looked at it, and there I found it, but it was behind lock and key. I couldn't get it. So I walked back about 50 yards to the checkout, and where there were 4 people standing in green shirts. One of them was on the cash register. The other 3 were just lollygagging around. And I said, I need some help. I need to buy that, that plug that I plug into the wall and charge my phone. And the lady said to me, you're going to have to wait. We're busy. I said, okay. Okay, so I stood there, and they went about their business, and the 3 that weren't on the cash register just continued to chat with each other. And I said, I need some help over here because everything's locked. Sir, I told you, we're busy. We'll get to you in a few moments. I turned and walked away. I walked up to the customer service window, and I said to the young lady, can you deliver a message to your store manager? She said, sure. What can I tell him? Tell him he just lost a customer. I explained to her what happened back there. And she said, well, I'm sorry. I said, well, you tell I'll never be in this store again. And I went home. And what did I do? I got on Amazon and I ordered what I needed, and it showed up the next morning. My phone stayed charged in the meantime. So why did I go to Walmart in the first place? Because I needed someone to assure me that what I was getting was what I was going to need, and I thought I needed it right then. But that's going to go away. That's going to go away because with conversational marketing, in the future, I will be able to go to Amazon, push a button, and a face that I recognize will come up, and it'll say, Kerry, what can we help you find today? And I will explain my situation, and so they'll say, well, we have several options for you. We have the one that plugs in the wall, and then we have this new device that actually gives you 6 ports that you can plug into, and you have both the one big port and the 3 of the other small ports. I said, I want that. How much is that going to cost me? Well, the one in the store that gave me one plug-in was going to cost me $17.58. He said, well, this one will cost you $22.80. Send it to me. It was on my porch the next day. That's conversational marketing. That's who's going to benefit from AI after it's built out. This is the highway. These are Exxon Mobil. These are the gas companies. These are the companies that are going to benefit. So who are they? Well, I think Amazon is the huge winner because it will totally put out of business brick and mortar because it will replace what Amazon didn't have up until AI. And that is a helpful clerk that can take me to the product, explain the product to me, explain my options, hand it to me, and check me out. That's why we went to Walmart, but that's gone because everything's behind block and key, and the people aren't able or willing to help me. So that's where I want Amazon. Who else will do that? Well, every company that has a website that you go to, whether it's a Mercedes dealer and you want to buy a car, you will have a clerk that you will recognize, a salesperson who you will deal with on a regular basis. You will not have to deal with a human being because this clerk that you're dealing with, that you recognize his face will know everything about you, will know everything about your car and cars coming out. You will have a personal assistant at every website you go to. So that's where this is going. That's who the big benefactor. Well, the big benefactor is me, you, and everybody else. But the change is going to be in how we deal, how we interact. I won't go to Publix or Whole Foods anymore. I will go to my shopper who knows everything in my pantry and everything in my refrigerator, and I'll say, here's our menu for this week. This is what we want from breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, bourbon, beer, whatever we want. This is what we want. And it will be the same person that I see every week. And I'll say, this is what we want. And they will take me and give me the recipes and calculate the bill. And they will say, now, if you buy Green Giant, it'll be this much. But if you buy the store brand, it'll be this much. Which do you want, Kerry? And they'll remember that. So every time I come back, they don't have to ask the same question. And it'll be the same person that I'm talking to, but it'll be a bot. And then the bot will say, oh, and we have a BOGO, buy one, get one free on this. And that's what will happen at Publix or Whole Foods or Greenwise, wherever I want to. This will happen on every website I go to. Okay? And it will be done. So who's going to make this possible? Well, does Amazon have the software? Does Publix have this? No. There are companies that are creating it. So I looked them up and I found out, well, I already own one of them, and that's SoundHound AI. They've already hit me at a drive-in window when I wanted 2 hamburgers, fries, and a large Coke. I mean, that voice came on there, and I turned to Nita, and I said, that is the best experience I have ever had at a drive-in window. And we got through, we got done, and I said, that's the fastest I've ever been through. And it was SoundHound who I was talking to. That was the voice. I understood every word, and they understood what I said. And when Nita said, I want more pickles on my hamburger, she got more pickles on her hamburger when most of the time she doesn't. But it happened this time. The next one is a company by the name of Active Campaign. It's a private company. They do live chat bots to reach customers for the exact moment they're looking for your product. Then there's one called Drift. Now, I learned about Drift in the book I just finished reading. You ask, they ask, you answer. Phenomenal book. They're a leader in conversational marketing. They have an AI-powered buyer engagement platform that automatically listens, understands, and learns from buyers to create the most personalized experience possible. Well, they're a private company, Drift. Write that down. They will probably be acquired by someone like Amazon or maybe HubSpot or something like that, or Salesforce, who will provide software to people who have websites so that they can have that bot. And then they will key their their data to your menu or your product line, such as I might want to have it on, I will have it on my website so that you can come and ask, Kerry, what is a trailing stop loss order? And how do I adapt that to my Fidelity account? And Kerry will show up just like this, but it'll be a bot, and he'll explain it to you, and then you'll say, well, thank you, Kerry. I'll come back to you. What else do you have to offer, Kerry? And you'll learn about my cheat sheet and how I predict prices of our stocks, and you might become a customer of mine. Isn't that a lot easier than me buying a $3 million commercial on the Super Bowl to explain that to you? Yes, it's a hell of a lot easier and a lot less expensive. Another one is called Glean. It's also a private company, and I give you the details on my blog that I've written on this. That's on my website. Another one is Birdseye, and then IBM is in the business. IBM is offering a Watson assistant, and it's a AI-powered tool as well. I'm glad to see IBM is actually getting in the game, so it might be a reason to buy it. I'll have to look into that deeper. And then the other one is HubSpot. HubSpot is a company that in past history has been in the business of measuring contact and interaction on websites and does a phenomenal job. And HubSpot is right now in negotiations, as I understand it, to be bought by Google. So that might be one you want to be interested in as well. But again, I think the big winners in this is going to be who's going to be the Exxon, who's going to be Mobil, who's going to be the GM, Ford, and Chrysler. I believe it's going to be Amazon, Meta, Apple, and Best of Us investors. Yeah, those are the three that I think are going to give me the best bang for my buck in the coming years as a result of conversational AI marketing. Okay, so I hope that's important to you. If you want some more detail on this, go to the website, Best of Us Investors, and go to articles, and you'll find the blog article that I just wrote. And actually, I wrote it using ChatGPT as a means to write the script for this video. That's artificial intelligence at work today, tomorrow, and in the future. I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm a retired financial advisor. I just enjoy the hell out of this. I feel I learned something that 99% of the world doesn't know yet. They don't know what conversational marketing is and how it's going to, don't tell a lot of people this, but it's going to put network TV out of business. Talk to you again probably tomorrow.